What's going on, everybody? We are live. Got a really fun, packed kind of show for you guys tonight. I've been wanting to do this one for a while, but we've just been so busy. But I don't like kind of putting things off. So we are going to build a business card from scratch for, a follower of that detail group. I hope you guys are ready to go and excited. I know I am. And we'll just get after it. So we're gonna jump back into that here in just a second. Cool. So let me get a couple screens set up here, friends, and we're gonna test out the full capabilities of this new computer and setup, and kind of see what we can do here. You know what I mean? First and foremost, I hate always having to do this, but this is a new computer, so let me know if you guys can hear me. We'll go ahead and I'm getting good at this, guys. So I'm gonna turn down my gain a little bit. Hey, what's going on, Guardian? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I mean, we got a hell of a delay over there. What's going on, Master Shine, Jay Edwin? Make sure you guys share this with your friends. Let them know we on. Hopefully, you guys all gained something from this. I've been making business cards for people for years now, kind of behind the scenes. I think having some of these skills really helped me grow when I had the opportunity. Oh man, that's really cool, bro. Like, I'm so glad that you got those shirts, and we have a whole bunch of new stuff we're getting ready to throw on the website this weekend. Um, well, really tomorrow. I mean, we're gonna unveil hopefully the brand new website that I've been working on for the better part of a year. I know it sounds pathetic, but that's my reality. So it's gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing this, let's get some people in here and have some fun. I do have a pretty good quote unquote show for the folks. In case you guys are just now joining, we are going to design a business card from scratch for some people. Well, for one person that's my follower. If you're part of that detail group and you don't have a business card, it's because you either don't want one or you didn't read the group description. I'm pretty sure it still should say that everybody in my group gets a business card. Kind of like the Apex bands. I'm glad that not everybody cashes in on that at once because there's like over 20,000 people. Thing is going absolutely crazy. Um, all right. So it looks like not real sure why that's going on. I just had something happen where they said performance might kind of be an issue with me trying to share two screens, guys. So we're gonna try it. But if you guys uh, start hearing things get a little bit choppy or whatever, just let me know. Um, I'll go ahead and just shut it down right now, and I'll just try to be somewhat diligent about kind of going back and forth and whatnot. So this may not be the funnest live. I was really hoping that we could, get some people in here. So if you're in here and you're excited to kind of see how we make some business cards, a really nice professional card that is hopefully unique to you and that you're proud of, go ahead and just throw a W in the chat real quick. Let me know you're there. Let me know you're breathing. I really appreciate the support we've had, guys. It's been a really good week so far. We've had just a lot of good fortune, a lot of love. We're going to be in five states, more stores than that. So I just think that's so crazy, man. It's so crazy to me to think that like somebody might see one of our products in the store and be like, "Oh man, I'm excited to get that." I'm wondering, man. I've been wanting to order that. And just hearing kind of these store owners talk about how people have kind of came in there and wondered, like, "Hey, when are you going to get this? When are you going to get that?" Like, I'm not saying it happens all the time, and like we're a big deal, but like just as much of you guys, like, seeing me go through this, like, it's all real, man, and it's all just, like, crazy to me, like, I don't know how to explain it any better than that, so, All right. Well, I think we've kind of got our group tonight. If you guys have the opportunity to share this, I do appreciate it. It looks like we've got, I don't know, about 10 or 12 people in here. So that's super exciting. Let's go ahead and shout everybody out that's over here. So we've got Jay Edwin, we've got Tay Builds, Koosh, Sergio, Nikolai, Alex, Pi Crystal USA in the building. Hey, Pi, if you guys want to hop on, let me know. I know you're probably just chilling, man. I know the Pie Crystal folks are working hard, man. Uh, Daniel and Brad, man. For whatever reason, I always want to call Brad Bradley, and I don't even think I've ever seen his name as Bradley. It's a super annoying thing that I do. My brain just does its own thing. But yeah, let's get after it, man. This has been enough of me kind of talking. I don't know. Maybe tonight we're not gonna have a lot of people. I haven't been posting any YouTubes again, so it's hard to get balance, folks. So I'm gonna let you guys kind of know how this works for me. Typically speaking, when I get into making business cards, there's a few things that I kind of think about. For one, I want to have like a nice, professional, clean business card that's not too messy, that something I can be proud of. Your business card is like one of the first things that you can pass to a customer. And it's just one of those signs, not that you're legitimate, but like you care enough to do what everybody else says is like professional, right? It's that little bitty step that you can take, spend 50 bucks, get you 500 business cards from Staples or whatever, and just have something that says, this is who I am. Where would we be at like MTE if I didn't have a stack of business cards from people? So it is about the setting and stuff too, but this is something that is one of those things that you can land one of those first impressions on somebody. So I'm going to take you guys through how I design a card from the ground up, all the different type of assets that I'm going to look at for the most part, and then I'm also going to take you guys through uh, some very technical stuff on how to really maximize the opportunity and the exposure that you have when you get people that business card. The slippery soaps in the building. Your name came up, Jeremy. I got some people that want to talk to you in LA. So definitely hit me up, bro. I know you busy. But yeah, it's been really cool to kind of see that the impact that we're making hopefully is going to affect people, whether they're already making it or successful. It's just going to make this whole thing unstoppable, and I think that's what is so cool about it. Anybody that's riding with me, I promise y'all, man, I'm chanting your name anytime I get an opportunity. If somebody brings that up, oh yeah, man, I'll hit him with a DM. I'll do what I need to do, right? Because that's what real people do. And I know that I got real people riding with me. And that's all we're trying to do, man, is just make this thing unstoppable, right? Because the only people that are going to change this world for us is us, bro. Like, period, man. All right, so that's my little soapbox. So let's get into the business cards. I don't want to keep you guys up all night. It's 11. I'm gonna try to put a whole catalog together, but I've been telling this guy for about a week and a half that we're gonna get these business cards knocked out. So let me show you what this looks like. So the first asset that I want to kind of show you guys is going to be the original logo. And I did talk to him about his information kind of being out here. Just so you guys know, he was cool with it. So this is a company called Precision Detailing. I guess I could hide that. Like, please don't do anything stupid, y'all. But this is kind of what his business card looks like now. So there's no business card, right? This is kind of what his logo that he uses like on Instagram looks like. So I mean, everything's already public anyways. And he was asking me about business cards or something, how we came up on it. And I said, bro, if you're part of that detail group, you just gotta ask and I'll make you a business card. So it's not a big deal. So these are so I'm gonna tell you what I do and don't like about kind of where he's at now, and why I think that we need to make a little bit of a change, and then also what I would do if it was me. Well, you guys have seen my logo, my thing. The day that I started detailing, the days I started, like, I don't want just an auto detailing business. I want my own brand. I want to be known for something, right? I don't like I didn't want to do a car silhouette. I didn't want to have a polisher. I don't want to have a pressure washer gun. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Like everybody is entitled to do what they want. I just wanted something a little bit different. So that's when I looked into getting a graphic designer that's been riding with me ever since then. And it's been a real blessing. And they designed kind of the that detail guy logo, which hilariously, I really want to make him fat and have a beard now because that's who I am now. But you know what? People say just to leave it alone, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Maybe for Halloween we'll dress them up or something and do something funny. But that's kind of what that looks like, man. So these are some some renderings that I'm thinking that we'll change it to because I don't want it to take too much from what he already has. But I think he can do a little bit more here to kind of impress the people when they do it. Hey, what's going on, John? If you guys aren't following Auto Care Genius, John Elgenio, um, over on Instagram, go ahead and do it. He's a great guy, one of our best distributors. The mayor of Puerto Rico is what I'm being told. So, great guy, love the guy, a lot of energy. Make sure you drink your coffee if you're watching this streams because it goes, man. All right, y'all. So this is what we're looking at. So I kind of came up with these two renderings here. I didn't take you through that process because a lot of people get whatever. So if you guys know my background, you know where these are coming from. And I just wanted to try to get somewhere and do something right. That's kind of what we're looking at. So these are kind of what I came up with. Me personally, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the silhouettes. I think that your name kind of sticks for itself, but some people they like to put something in there that reminds people kind of what they're doing. Me personally, anytime you have an opportunity to put any type of text on anything, you have to decide like, do you want it to be like simple or do you want to have as many words as possible for your customer to know what you are and for like SEO, internet, building websites and stuff like that. So like me personally, even if my LLC is this right here, like my LLC is That Detail Guy LLC, but everywhere I go, it's That Detail Guy Auto Detailing because that's what the system wants to see. So detailing is pretty good. It's a little bit more simple. It's a little bit more sleek. I would think you could go without having the LLC here, but listen, this is what he wants. I'm not trying to change this whole guy's life. I'm just trying to keep it simple, but I'm going to be honest with you guys and let you know all the different things that I'm kind of processing right here. So what we have here is just kind of a blank screen, and that's kind of how I like to start. So these right now they have a background, so you can go ahead and go to Canva as a tool we're using here, and just knock these backgrounds out just to kind of see where you're at. That's kind of like the first step, right? And I do have a few ideas as far as like what I want to do, but we'll just see kind of where that goes. So then the next thing I'm gonna do is just open up like 3 or 4 pages, right? And then basically I'm gonna close that page and I'm gonna open up the other page, which is, templates that already exist in Canva, right? And I'm not usually gonna copy an entire template and just say it's mine. What I like to kind of do is just go through here and like kind of hunt and peck, get some inspiration, and there might be some stuff that I just grab from. Like I'm seeing this right here, just real nice, sleek, and simple. That's kind of what I'm going to be going for. And they already have the icons, they already have everything right there. So it's just a nice little template that we can grab. So now I have that one in my head right now. And you might see something that you haven't seen before. Like maybe we just do it really simple and have a vertical card. That's something right off the bat that shows your customer like that you're a little bit different, right? So I think that's definitely something that we can consider, and I honestly think that we might just go ahead and grab that. But that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm just kind of going through the process right now, trying to see what's out there. That's pretty cool right there. Nice little sleek thing. Like the biggest thing about a business card, and like even the one that I have right now is probably way too much going on. I try to put way too much on there, right? All you got to do is just put like, who are you and what do you do? It doesn't have to be this huge thing. And then if you want to really impress your customer, it's really about the weight and stuff of the card, I think. But once again, like here's something. So that's kind of like an auto detailing. So if you don't like any of these, you're like, these aren't related to detailing or anything. What you can do is just type in like auto detailing and see if like you can find some more stuff. So now you're starting to see some stuff like that. Now, just keep in mind, right? If you're going to go this route, and I'm not saying be lazy, but if you're going to go this route, don't pick like the first one, right? Because everybody's going to see that, right? Scroll down to the bottom and find some stuff. But you guys really are sleeping. Like this tool is $10 a month. There's guys that are out here taking these templates and like putting a couple of your pictures in there and either throwing them up on a website and charging you for it, or they're freaking charging you like 500 bucks. Like this is all templates that somebody else made. and depending on their level of effort, they might just be getting over on you guys. Like, I love when those groups when somebody makes something and it'll look good, right? And then they'll drop the picture in there and be like, "What do you guys think of this?" You know, because they're proud of it. But at the same time, it's like, bro, like I'm on Canva every day. Like I know that that's just a template, but good for you for making the effort. And I think that's what a lot of this is about. It's literally just about like, are you willing to put in the work? Period. Like that's the difference, you know. So let me do something real quick. All right. Do 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 do. Let me see something. All right, yeah. So now you guys can see me. How awesome, right? We'll go ahead and hide that more of my face. That's exactly what you guys wanted, right? Um, anyways, so that gives you guys a little bit more um insight as far as like what's going on. So once again, I don't really see too much here that I want to do. I know I want a very like kind of simple card. So I'm just kind of looking around, trying to get a little inspiration. I've got some different things like that. I do think that like just doing something like this, like why don't we just do this, you know? Um, so I'm kind of feeling that, changing up some font there, liking that right now. Um, I don't know though. Stuff, dude. So, I definitely want the guy that I give this to be happy, right? And there's different business cards. I'm not a huge fan of the square ones. I think everybody expects a business card to look a certain way, and then it fits in somebody's wallet. Like you don't want to stand out so much to where somebody's like, "Dude, screw this. I'm throwing this thing in the trash. Like it don't fit in my wallet." So, not a huge fan of this card right here. That's gonna print weird, and that's another thing we'll get into is like a lot of these colors. Like you got to learn, they are not gonna print how you think they will. So that always sucks. But yeah, I'm not feeling really any of these templates. Let me see this right here. Yeah. So let's do this right here. Okay. So what you're gonna do, right, is you're just gonna once you click on it too, it tells people like, oh, he likes this. So there's like a bunch of other stuff that'll open up down here too that maybe you like better. But I'm gonna go ahead and say customize this template. Okay. Now, if you guys remember, we have a bunch of blank pages on another one. Those already have my logo on it. So what I usually do is I'll just go ahead and grab this for now and just control C. And then I'm gonna pop back over here to my other screen. Right? Okay. So the reason why I did that is because let me go back over here. Dun, 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 dun. Guys, remind me too if I get to talking and you guys are looking at something and it's like, not what just remind me that like, dude, you're not sharing the screen that you're supposed to. Because I do that sometimes. All right. So, dude, the stress I'm putting on this new computer is unreal. So the reason why when we copied that it didn't work out is just because there's probably something locked here. So you're gonna go over here to position, you're gonna go to layers, right? And if you want that, you can just control C and then shift. Oh, hold on. So you'll shift and then okay. So what we can do actually is just detach it from the background. I was trying to do it a little bit more fancy. And then that way you kind of get everything like that. Control C it. Okay. Now we're gonna bring it back over here to this other screen. Okay. There's a bunch of crap right here. So you can just hit Control A, delete, Control V, print. Okay. That was stupid, huh? So we're gonna hit Control C over here on this screen again. We're gonna go over here, boom. All right, let's see if that does anything. Weird. I think this is messing up because it's like my computer's stressed out. So give me a second. All right, guys. So we're gonna hit Control A, Control C, pop over, Control V. Perfect, right? So this was the background. So then we're just gonna hit set background again. And that's basically what the card was. Let me double check. Yeah, it's pretty close, right? Anyways, gives us a little something to work with. So now I'm gonna be done with that for the most part. I'm gonna go back and this is remember this is the one that I made here that has these logos here. So now that I've kind of got that as like my number, that's gonna this right here is actually gonna be the back, right? So I'm gonna drag this one over and drop it. And now I'm gonna be working on essentially like, okay, what do I want for the front? And I promise it's gonna get a lot more simple. So I'm gonna hit back. I think I'm kind of winging it right now, but I'm just trying to decide really what I want. I think that one might just be too, it's got too much going on, dude. I really do just want something sleek, but let me go and see if I can find that one that we really kind of liked. I think that, yeah, we just typed in business cards and it was just kind of down here. So let's grab that one too. And then we'll kind of go from there. I probably passed it or it's not there anymore. It's not a big deal. We can always find another option. Do, 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 do. So I just put a QR there, and then boom, it's the first one, right? And I could have came up with that, but it's already done for you, so it's just kind of cool. So we're just gonna click that. You're gonna go to customize this template, which is annoying because now it's gonna save that. Once again, you're just gonna go to Control C that bad boy. See, I don't think there's like a background or anything. Yeah, very very simple stuff. So you're gonna hit Control C, and you're already kind of seeing a problem. Like if we go this vertical design, actually like it kind of messes up the other aesthetic. So, and you can't really effectively design that way. All right, so it's like right now I kind of got to commit, okay? Um, something I didn't really think of. So I'm gonna go back over here. I'm doing that thing where I'm not actually showing you guys my screen. Mm, 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 mm. All right, so now we got to find something. We're just gonna do something simple and horizontal. Boom, 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 boom. I do like vertical cards, so we might have to just do it, man. All right, screw it. We're gonna do a vertical card. All right, so we're gonna pop back over here to this blank screen here. Okay, and we're gonna go to resize. And I'm not real sure what the size is right now. Uh, so if you're not sure what size you are, you can always just go to elements, grab a square, right? And go boom. You can kind of measure. So we're 3.5 by 2, which makes sense, right? So you're going to go to resize. You're going to go to custom 3.5 by 2. It already has that. So you're just going to switch those, right? You're going to go 2 by 3.5, and that's going to flip this thing vertically. And then you're just going to hit resize this design. Because if you don't hit resize this design, it's just going to copy it. And then you have like 18 open templates, right? So now we have a vertical card. So that means that like all this right here, trash. I mean, you could still use it if you want, but I think we're just kind of going in a different direction altogether. All right, so we got that taken care of. Let's go up and do I kind of had like a quick vision, so I'm thinking let me see something. Boom. Jesus, dude. Should switch it here in a second. Come on now. There you go. All right, so I'm thinking about this one right here. Putting his business name there, just keeping it real cool and simple, or so maybe we'll get some more inspiration if we do vertical business card. Okay. Style. You can even switch by style. You can go whatever. So, all right, let's see what we find. Yeah, that did not help. I see even less vertical stuff now, I think, guys. Uh, unless did I spell business wrong or something? Oh man. So let's go. Oh yeah, I spelled vertical wrong for one. So that'll probably do it. There you go. Yeah. Okay. So to be completely honest, I'm kind of feeling this one right here. What a nice template, right? All the way around, really. So I think we're just gonna grab this whole template and just be done with it, dude. Um, so I'm just gonna go to customize this template to be honest, and I'm just gonna get rid of like this whole other one that I was using. I'll scroll over here to like my logos here. I'll have those control seed, and then I'm just gonna exit out of the screen. Stop putting stress on the computer. Um, we now so then I'm gonna control C over here, and I know I'm not showing you guys what I need to. So we'll go back over here since we're doing the stream like this. Boom, boom. All right, cool. All right, guys. So now, now we got something cooking, right? So we have the logos originally, and you kind of see right now things that are kind of popping off the page, right? And then you have, a picture, phone number, that information. So that's real nice, right? All right. So right off the bat, I think that this one is really popping off the page. I love those colors, but I like this logo better. I really try to keep things simple. Um, I wish we had some more people in the chat. Like, chat, what do you guys think? Um, yeah, man. I think that Guardian is bringing up some really important points. I'm sorry that I didn't get to those sooner. And then there's a guy over here says that like, keep killing it, bro. Like, yep. Looks like EC was over here on IG. So definitely love you guys. Sorry, I was like zoned in. Um, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just say that we're gonna use this. Guardian says some like super important things. He's just telling you guys like how to put text on a card. Like we're gonna get to all that here in a second. Of course, I'm just doing it like the super slowest way, right? So that's essentially what we're gonna do, Guardian. I think I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and just get rid of this. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Okay. We're gonna just go real quick with me, guys. I'm gonna show you how quick this is. Once you decide on what you want, right? Now you're gonna go to elements. You're gonna go to um you're gonna go to like uh washing a car, right? If you have your own pictures, then cool. If not, you can borrow some from here. Once again, if you type in washing a car, and you want to use some stock photos, bro, like find something you like, but I'd probably like not even look at the first like 100 or whatever. I'd just scroll all the way down here and see what's there, right? That's kind of me. So then you have to decide like, do I want to be kind of funny, a little bit more serious? It just kind of depends on like your demographic and everything, right? So for now, I say we just throw this wash me in there, right? Like everybody kind of understands that as like the universal signal of like, my car is fucked up, right? Now I'm going to click this and I'm going to make my background black and I'll explain to you guys why here in just a second. You can do this one or two ways. It's the way I like to do it. Now we need to decide probably now what is our kind of color scheme going to be because we've got some green, yellows. We know that this guy likes black and gold, right? So we could go ahead and just say we'll make. So good thing is they kind of put a color palette here so you guys can always see what colors you like. So if we liked kind of that right there, or that, which was kind of where he was at. That might be a little aggressive, but we'll mess with it right now, okay? And then we can make this a brand kit if we want. If this is for me, that's probably what I'm doing. But just for a client, like I'm not about to make a whole, brand uh uh kit, unless it is what it is. All right, so now I'm just gonna start piecing this stuff out. So to move quicker, knowing those hotkeys is so nice, right, from the computer world. So you're just gonna you're gonna hold shift when you click, and that's gonna help you click all three of these at once. So then when I go to pick my color, it's like, bam, it's already like that, right? So now if I know that like all these are going to be connected on the same color, um, you can also group them too, so stuff doesn't move around. Like there's so many different ways you can do this. Okay, so it's not letting you do it there. So sometimes it does that. So you just got to go through and click them individually. So once again, this will end up being, if we want to do 3 colors, but we're just trying to keep it simple right now. So we're just going to go boom, boom. You know, I definitely want this thing to pop. So, but I don't want it to be kind of like outrageous, if that makes any sense. So we're just going to keep hammering those same colors, and eventually you'll get to a point where you're like, hell yeah, I'm done. Right. So, all right. So sometimes when there's like text on the side, you just kind of move that over. Okay. What the hell's going on? Oh, yeah. So that's like it's a text box. So you're going to do that. Boom. All right. So we're kind of looking at it. All right. All right. So now, that means that all my text is probably going to end up being black. So we'll take a look and see what that looks like. Boom. So that's going to make that text pop a little bit. All right. So my boys is, um, so we're going to probably mess around and do like, I don't even know what we're going to do here. So we'll kind of put that on pause because I don't really know what the hell I'm going to do there. Deleting that. So we're just trying to make this thing ourselves. I don't know what his first and last name is. So we're going to put, you know, Perez right now. And then once he tells me, I'll, whatever. I always know people buy like their handles and stuff. Like even if I meet them, it's terrible. So we're kind of looking at that, right? Kind of getting somewhere. And then I'm actually going to pick this logo and I'm going to show you guys some stuff that we can do with it. So we're going to click this right here. So that's going to be something that's annoying, honestly. So what you're going to want to do is just lock this. Oh, shoot. Because if you don't, like every single time that you go over this, like it's just going to do that because it's like a, what you call a frame. Okay. All right. So this is going to get kind of weird. So once you kind of get your positioning and stuff down, um, for now, just for my own sake, I think so. We're going to need some sort of element, right? Because we killed the background here. So, boom, boom, boom. So the first thing I can show you, right, is we'll unlock this and I'll show you why we made the background black, right? So we're going to do, oh my gosh. We're going to go to transparency and we're going to drop it to like, oh, that's the wrong thing. Oh my gosh. All right. So we're going to go here. Oh, it's probably still locked. All right. This straight up is about to get deleted, bro. It's still locked. That's the only thing that sucks about locking stuff. All right. So we can drop our transparency down to like, I don't know, something like that. And honestly, the more I think about it, the more I like not a huge fan of using that. If I'm being completely honest, but you know, we were trying to make it work, trying to be cool. And I think I'm just gonna like honestly get rid of. Oops. I'm just gonna get. You know, this really is. All right, I'm done with this. It's gonna piss me off. We'll figure that out in a second. So we'll just throw this out there. I think right now, like I said, the thing that we're trying to do essentially is just kind of make this thing our own, and that's I think that's one of the best things you can do. All right, so we're getting somewhere, right? All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to edit because there's some things I don't like about this logo, predominantly the colors, right? So we're gonna use these are where you start getting into some of those AI tools that just come naturally within this suite of products, right? So sometimes when you click on something, it'll let you kind of do what you want. Other times you kind of have to like brush an area and hope that it picks up what you want. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. Um, I want to make this line here black. So that's what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna grab that and hope that it grabs the right thing and doesn't warp the whole damn drawing. If it does, we'll figure it out. Not a big deal. So grab. All right. So then we're gonna wiggle this around. And see, sometimes it just does weird stuff. Like it just doesn't want to work. So you guys can kind of. So it just does weird stuff sometimes. So you can try to clean that up depending on how crazy you're trying to be, right? So the first thing you're gonna have to do then is go to like your pixel eraser and you're gonna kind of clean all this up. Boom, boom. And I promise you guys, like you don't have to go in like this on your first business card. I'm just trying to use this opportunity to kind of show you guys like all the tips and tricks and use all the tools. Like you do not need to do this. You could have grabbed one of those templates, put your name on it, maybe tweaked a couple things and been done with it. I promise you, there's nothing wrong with that. But there are a suite of tools here for $10 a month that can absolutely help you with your business. All right, cool. So that's what that looks like. Okay, guys. All right, so then you're going to come over here and it looks like you can actually change the color on that. But you'll notice it's still not really the color that you want. So what you're going to want to go and do is hit edit. And then you're going to go over here to dual tone. So you can always make something, if you customize it, you can always make something like solid black or solid white. So that's why it's kind of nice to use those colors in your palette. So you come over here to dual tone, and now we have that and it's good to go, right? Now, the next thing I know I want to do is I want to reverse the colors, I think, oh shoot, on this logo here. So I'm gonna throw this on the side right here. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna go back into kind of like that grab tool. It'll be a lot easier now. So we'll go over here, magic grab, boom. Okay. Brush, we can use the big brush now because we got that little tedious stuff out of the way. Okay. Grab it. Mm, mm, mm. So now when I go to the dual tone, right? I'm gonna go here, custom, right? All I'm gonna do is flip the colors now. So I'm gonna go solid black, solid white. See, so if you guys see that, right? We went from, let's see, oh, okay. So it's just a matter of, okay, what I want to do. So that's actually not essentially what I wanted. I don't know what I was thinking actually. I guess we're stuck with it, dude. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking that I could just like flip that. So I wanted like this. I wanted just the color to be here to like keep it even more simple. Um, Trying to think of a way that we can do that. I'm gonna look at these tools one more time. There is a whole suite of like add-on tools that you can mess with. I don't know how crazy I want to get like right now, showing everything. And there's obviously like straight AI where you can, change stuff or whatever. I think we're just gonna leave it black. It looks good on the gold background, and we're just gonna have to make it work, right? All right. So we've got this part black. We know we want that black. The problem is that we kind of wanted, I think, this to be gold, but now the background is gold. So, hmm. Let's go to edit. We'll go to dual tone right now. Let's see if we change it to gold, what happens. I think that's pretty much what you want right there. And it might be a thing where we just need to adjust this background, but that's essentially what we wanted. I think that looks like really clean as is. And then you're going to throw this back in there. So it's like I'm not just building at this point a business card, right? I'm building this guy an entire logo. And this is where you kind of get into that brand stuff. So you're going to hit group and you start to kind of see what's going on. Okay. Now, kind of knowing how this looks in the future and like what's going to happen, right? Like, let me see if I can zoom in here. I don't think I can. You kind of have an option right now. So like I know I want this logo. I know that I'm gonna need a background, I think, just to make it do what I want. Let me try one more thing. So yeah, when I go to edit this, I can't even edit it because it's a group now, right? So what I'll do is I'll come down here and I'm gonna add a page and I'm gonna throw that right there, right? Yeah, I just now noticed it was still a pin, dog. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think you're the only viewer, so I'm not too worried about it. I do appreciate you guys riding with me. Next Gen 239, what's going on, man? Hopefully, we can link up sometime this week or next. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and your friends. I believe that's yeah, next gen. Um, so, anyways, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna make this like as big as possible, not a huge deal right now, and then we're gonna open up a tool called Image Upscaler. So this is one of the reasons, like, no matter if I use AI or not, like, it's why almost all my stuff looks like kind of washed out or AI. It's so hard once you start using this tool. So it's going to use AI to like make things look better. And with stuff like this, it's not a big deal. But like with images and stuff, it kind of washes out the features. But then like the quality is just so much better. So it's tough. But it's a good tool. It's a nice like free tool. So that's always good. Um, cool. And one thing I had to learn like really recently was this thing will actually upscale multiple images at the same time. So this was grouped, so it's still gonna be so if you look, I didn't do that. So I'm actually gonna delete this for now. I'm gonna ungroup, right? And then I'm gonna have both things selected. I'm gonna go back. Oh shoot. Whatever. I'm gonna like make sure. So now you see how both things are selected. I'm gonna upscale it by two, and hopefully now everything will kind of go together. And what I'm doing now is I really just want to have like an individual file for this guy, so that he has a logo when he's done with this, and he can throw it on his page anyways. Um, I'm seeing one other thing that kind of happened too. So we can kind of view that here in just a second. So that is that logo. There's a whole lot of like artifacts and stuff there. So actually what I'm gonna have to do is there's a few things. So you can go here to restore, you can zoom in, and you can like write on all that stuff to kind of restore it. So this is actually now you're gonna have to like kind of backtrack quite a bit. So you're gonna go back. Okay. Remove. All right. So this is where you kind of go in. You're gonna go to whatever, and you're just gonna hit like oh shoot. Reset. That's what we want. So you're gonna like do a complete reset because it's just being silly. Okay. And I don't know why, but there we go. Okay. So now we still can keep this because it's basically fine. Okay. And the more I look at it, the more I really don't hate having that gold line, but it is what it is. So we're going to go back. Now I'm going to click this. Exit out of those. I don't know why it's doing this. There you go. Now we're gonna still upscale it. This really shouldn't take that long. I think I'm just like being extra right now and I'm tired. So yeah, I see you, bro. I unpinned it. Sorry about that, Guardian. Just trying to get people to, know how smart and good looking that you are, even though, nobody can see you. Oh, all right. So we're gonna go replace. Now, the reason why I did that is because sometimes when you kill the background, especially on a low quality image, there was a whole bunch of like artifacts and stuff there, and I just want to deal with it, right? Because it's not a bad like image already, right? So we're going to upscale it, which effectively replaces it, right? Makes the image like that much stronger. So now when I go to remove the background, right, there shouldn't be all those artifacts. Essentially, what it did was it just created a new image when it upscaled it, and it just gives you a lot more leverage. So you see how clean that is already? There's not all those artifacts that you guys kind of saw there, right? So then we're gonna go over here to edit. We're gonna go over here to uh, mm, don't even need to go to Magic Eraser. We can go to Pixel Eraser, which is nice. Sometimes that's the easiest one. So we're gonna want to be a little bit surgical here. And this is, people always say, well, just get Canva, it's easy. Like, well, it certainly can be, right? Um, but when you're like, if this customer already had like a good logo and they were happy with it and they didn't want anyone, then we would just knocked out the business card and be done with it. But one thing I've learned, because essentially what you're doing is like, yeah, you're making somebody a business card right now, but like, you're kind of like, you're kind of consulting, but sometimes you just like have to be careful because like what you like doesn't matter all the time, you know? You gotta figure out, like, what your customer likes, regardless if you think that your way's better or any of that, you know? Alright, so now we still see, like, there's some of that that needs cleaned up there, right? So we're gonna go back here to that pixel eraser. Nope, had the wrong thing selected. Okay, pixel eraser back. So we need to try to find all that. Mm, mm, mm. There's one. Okay, so we'll say done. Oh, geez, it's still a mess. Hopefully, when we put this over there, they'll be able to see it anyways. So we'll see. And I promise, guys, we're really almost done. Like, besides like putting his actual information there, which I'm gonna get his like make sure he likes what he sees before I do that, anyways. All right, so we just gotta try to get this back to like that original size, and hopefully, when it went through that AI, nothing was like warped too bad, if that makes any sense. So we do have the original, so we can always kind of compare that, right? All right, so that's probably what we'll do now. I'm fairly happy with that. There's still some like weird stuff going on over here. So one thing you can always try when you do this, right, is you go to position, you go to center, right? And then you go to layers and you'll click this and you'll go back over to arrange and then you hit center again. And that's usually going to give you exactly what you want. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to manage. Okay. There is one more thing that I'm going to do. I think that we've kind of put this logo through hell enough. So maybe not. All right, so we're gonna go over here to edit. We're gonna go to grab text. What that's gonna do is allow God bless America, right? So we're gonna go over here to the actual image. We're gonna go to edit. Nope. Okay, so sometimes these things are a stinker, right? So you gotta go to layer, just send it to the back, and now when we click this, should be the right thing. Yep. So now we're gonna go over here, grab text. You can click it or it'll just grab it for you. So I don't want to touch that text. I just want that. So we're gonna grab it, see what we can do. Sorry, this is dragging along, guys. I really do. What's up, Flint? Thanks, Guardian, for leading the chat. I need to make you a moderator, dude, at this point. All right, so we went ahead and grabbed that text, which is nice. Just another little thing that you can do. I think that we should make this white. But we'll see if that pops too much. I don't want to make it that big, so I made it a little bit too big. Once again, we're going to kind of get everything sized up how we want. We're going to go over here. We're going to go to position, center, right? Don't hit middle. It's going to mess you up. Position. Oh, geez. So you're going to, yeah. So everything's looking good. So you can go back here. arrange, center, arrange. All right, that still needs centered. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's kind of what everything's looking like. So now I'm gonna go ahead and group all this so we can manipulate it just one more time here. Okay. This has went on about 5. I was gonna just show you guys that you can make one of these in like 10 minutes, right? But you know, you get into the zone. All right. So I think that the detailing is probably sticking out a little too much. So we probably need to go ahead and make that like a darker gray like it was, or maybe even like use a different font. But for time's sake, let's just throw it in there like that. Maybe we'll take the font down just a little bit, okay? And then we'll come back over here to position again just to continue to make sure that everything is centered, everything is clean, right? I'll show you why that matters in just a second. Perez Precision LLC. All right. So I know that I'm going to want to put a border around this whole thing. Um, and I am seeing one thing I don't like. So I'm going to go back here to layers. Okay. I don't think. And this is one of those things where it's like, was it worth it to mess with this? Was it worth it, Gary? I don't know. Because now it's just like something to deal with, right? Like, should you have just left it how it was? I don't know. Okay. Because you want to try to get like the curvature the same. Oh, it's gonna bother me bad, guys. I got problems. You guys know that though. So yeah, so right now it's not centering up like I want. That could be because of a lot of different things though. So sometimes when you can't get it to center, it's because it's reading this whole thing as an image. So really what you want to do is kind of come in there like this, get real tight to it, and now we'll center and see if that changes it. Nope, man, it works. Okay, there you go. And that's probably as good as it's gonna get, guys. Like, we're not really aiming for perfection at this point. All right, so that's kind of what everything looks like. We'll go ahead and center this up one more time. It's already good to go. Perfect. All right. I think that's starting to look really good as from a logo standpoint. It's not perfect, but I think it's not too much like something I would do. So what we want to do now is we're going to hit share, download. You're going to go to like whatever page you're on. So you're like, all right, page 4, current page. I'm going to blow this thing out like 3, make it super high res. That's hopefully what happens. So we're going to hit download. I can't remember if I clicked the button to make the background transparent or not, but it is what it is. All right, so now we're going to drag that down. This is like our downloads folder. All right, so we didn't. So we'll see what happens when we remove it. It might jack it all up. This is always gonna bother me because it's like imperfect right there. But jeez, dude. All right. It's one of those things where it's like you got to fix it now if you're gonna fix it. So let's go to the eraser. I can't even really fix it because I've done too much. Was all of this just a waste of time? Probably, dude. Probably, dude. All right, we're gonna go here. See if we can just quickly change the colors again like we did last time. Boom. That's probably fine, man. Just doing too much, guys, like always. All right, so we'll go ahead and blow this damn thing out like this. Get it going where we want. Go ahead and trim everything up. All right, so I'll just trying to make this thing quicker. If the customer wants that to be black, we can make it black, right? But we're gonna go in here. We're gonna grab the text. You know, it's gonna read the text anyway, so you're gonna be like, dude, come on, man. Oh my god, why is it doing this? Like, okay. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over. This is why like the upscales tool it does a lot. It does a lot more than what you think sometimes. What's up, Alpha Auto Detailing, Nicholas? Mm, mm, mm. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, oh, that's fancy right there, guys. You see that? Oh yeah. All right. All right, cool. So we're gonna add that to the design. I don't know how long we've been on here. An hour. Hour. Should not take an hour for this. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, so we're letting that load. We've done a lot of stuff that's just kind of wasted time. I should have came in with like more of a plan, but that's on me. Okay, we're gonna delete this. Oh, geez. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna delete this old one. All right, we're gonna make this giant now that it's delicious. Okay. Cool. Remove the background. Okay, now we're gonna go over here and grab the text. See if it recognizes it as two different things now. No. Bizarre, right? For like no reason. So this is when you rely on these type of things, like it sucks, right? So what happened last time is something with me taking that second bar out changed it to where like that noticed whatever. So fortunately, all you have to do is just go in here. We go back. We'll go to edit, or no, we'll just go eraser, pixel eraser. We're just gonna blow out this. I need to be a little bit more surgical so I don't have a dang brain and Okay. All right, so now we just need to find a good font, hopefully fast. I'm tired, guys. Okay, so we're gonna go to text, wherever the hell that's at, up here. Text. Let's throw that in there. That's like one of my default fonts. You guys know that, right? So we'll do Detailing LLC, and then we're gonna Control A that and just go through a font that makes sense. So obviously not that. Anton is always lovely. So we'll just do this, and then I think nope, can't italicize it. Northwestern, can't italicize it. All right, we can't italicize that. That was kind of more authentic to its roots, right? So we'll drop this down in there. All right, so we'll go here, position. Yep, that's looking good. I don't know how I got that first try, so we'll go that. Change the color. Let's do, that dark gray. I think it's a little too dark. We'll lighten her up a little bit. Boom. Probably looks okay. Okay. All right, now we're going to go back. I'm not a huge fan of this, man. I hate it. I really hate this now. Like, I don't want it to like dominate like it was, but this is just not the right font. Oh, all right. Let's try to find something that could work. It needs to be like just a wider font in general. Those are like I like those fonts because they take up like a little bit of room, like less room. I'm trying to recover from NTE, bro, but I don't know. I just have a lot going on right now. I mean, frankly, just, you know, I've been down here on this computer every single day. Like this right here is a break. And I don't do it just because like I have to. It's just like, I don't know. I just want to like hang out with people. But the thing about the social media thing, right? It's like if you don't stick on it every single day, like it just goes, man. So but yeah, I fell asleep tonight at like 8 and then I told my wife, I was like, "Man, should I just go to bed?" And she's like, "Probably." And I was like, "But I don't wanna feel bad if I do," you know, like, I have work to do, and then I came down here and I was like, "Man, I've been telling this guy I'm gonna make him a logo, like, I can't be like that, man. I can't just keep, like, messing with somebody's business like that," you know? Alright, so that's kinda what we're doing there, guys. I think that's fine. I think I'm being too crazy. I think I'm too into it right now, guys, to be completely honest. So that's what that logo is looking like. What's it look like on a black background? It's not gonna go because that's black. So, yeah, that's why. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab, like, uh, it's kinda where this gets weird. Alright, so we need to grab, like, a circle, I think. Alright, so photos is selecting, so that's why the weird stuff's cut up, so we do shapes. We need to give this thing essentially a background. So we'll go, um, layer, sit in the back. So, like, right now, the logo doesn't have a background, so if you try to, uh, put it on anything, it's gonna be a problem. So once again, you can hit that center button. You'll find that, like, that center button sometimes can be your best friend because it just literally keeps everything in order, right? So you're gonna kinda throw that there. I think what we'll do is we'll do like this and then okay. So another one that's just like your friend is just hopping back in these layers because once you start stacking it like this, it just gets really hard. So I think I wanna make I'm not a huge fan of how this is coming out, but at some point, you just have to keep going. Um, all right. So position layers. Yeah, like, hmm. I don't think I'm ever gonna like this logo, to be honest, guys. All right. We'll just do what I came out to do. I don't know why I'm putting this background on there, to be honest. So let's delete that, and we're just gonna try something real quick. So that's what that looks like. It's probably still too a little bit too big. So we're gonna go like this. Boom. Sorry, this really shouldn't take that long, guys. Like, but you just kind of see things take me way too long because I'm just like I just get too into it, man. To be completely honest, so you're gonna hit transparent background. You're gonna jack that right there. Boom. I'll show you why we're doing that here in just a second, right? So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna drop this down. Okay. Now that now what you've done is you've just made this like one image, right? So now when you go to like edit and say you go to shadows and you go to outline, you can like do that and that's gonna help you, do something that can like help you stand out, right? Or like when you go to put a glow on it, it's all one image and you don't have to like use all those little parts. So that's how you can get around like all that crap, since it doesn't have a background, you're gonna have to have it stand out in some capacity, right? So you can figure out kind of which one of these you want. You know, the biggest thing with any of this, right, is you don't wanna do something that's gonna make your logo harder to read. So, sometimes you can use this, and then if it wasn't black, so, like, let's say we make it white, and then you can kinda mess with it like that. You know, this one has, like, a lot of, like, complexity, so it's really not that easy to do. So, we're probably just gonna have to hit glow, and you're probably gonna make that, like a gray or something like that, just depending on what we end up with as far as a background, and just be done with it. I think we're gonna end up like this, and I think we're gonna end up, like, really blurring it, and then the size is gonna it's just gonna be, like, really subtle, so it just kinda pops a little bit. Unfortunately, that detail LOC is getting a little washed out when we do that gray or do that white, so we're probably gonna have to, like, probably change that color or do something, man. Probably should've just made it black. That's what we'll do. Alright, so delete this one more time. Alright, just make this black, make it easy to work with. So now we're gonna hit control. Oh, Lord. Boom, 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 boom. Yo. Mm, 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 mm. Uh. All right, so like I said, go here, edit, shadows, glow, probably do something like that. Just kind of depends. We're gonna go like that. Boom. It's probably gonna end up something like that, but it just kind of depends what we decide on the background or not. So you can do that too, and it's almost like that. So using glow used to be what we have to use to do a border, but they finally came out with that feature a long time ago. All right, so this is the fun part, guys. I promise. So we're gonna go over here to we're gonna go back over here to elements, right? We're gonna type in washing car. All right, and then we're gonna go photos. And then I want to click over here on orientation and do vertical because our card is vertical. And then let's just see what we can find real quick. See if we can see something that kind of pops. Once again, guys, I do try to go, if I'm going to use these images, I'm going to try to go down a little bit. So you can use something if you washed in the car. Let's just do a cool guy like that. All right. So we're going to throw that in there, replace the background. This is where you can get crazy. So you're going to hit this transparency, right? To really make that thing like so it still feels you still feel that gold, right? But you kind of got that overlay, and we're gonna keep messing with that until we're happy with kind of that effect. Okay. So I wanted to have like just kind of a slight feel to it, but this may not work because like this logo is just not it is not made uh to because it doesn't have a background, it's a pain to work with. Put it like that. That's why circle logos and stuff like that, they're just the best. So you guys are kind of seeing that in real time. It's like, do I really want to put this up here? For the uh preface for this video, it looks like that's what we're gonna do. Okay. So I'm gonna mess with this one more. Oh, actually, it's really weird. So like it's like really blurry. So it has to be because of that shadow. So we're gonna go over here and like maybe just like turn that blur down a little bit. Okay. And then one thing we can do, uh, let's see what happens if we try to upscale it. It'll usually be honest, be like, don't upscale this. It's already upscale. I'm so tired. But yeah, man, I sure hope that anybody who's still watching, man, I just appreciate you guys. We still have some foam cannons to give away. Uh, we did a couple refurbs and stuff like that. Um, so it still says we can do 4 time. Mm. mm, mm. Another thing we can try too, if putting this color is just too much, we can make it black, and then that's where you can really manipulate that to decide like, okay, I want it to be like really dark or not. So that's another thing that people do. I think that this probably looks better. Oddly enough, too, using colors you know, like navy blue always have like a cool effect, or you can use colors like this that kind of have like some gradient to it. So to give you your card just like a kind of a unique look. The problem with using gradients is they usually don't print well. Learn that the hard way. So probably gonna end up with something like this, which like to me, this is like kind of a generic card, but sometimes I just gotta let it go. So image upscale, still working. Replace. I wonder if when it replaces this, if it'll replace it with the shadow. I feel like it's going to. Mhm. All right, so I'm somewhat happy with that, right? So we're just gonna make all this text gold now, kind of being a little bit lazy. Gold text, and then we'll drag this over. Crap. Probably just drag this over to be honest, man. Crap. So annoying, dude. Just to try to wrap this up, I don't want to keep you guys all night, so we'll just try to add a little something to this. I don't think this is like the best card I've ever made by any chance. Um, I'm not like super proud of it, but it's not always like what you want when you're doing this stuff, right? Like, um, I wanted to try to like show you guys everything, but it just gets tough. All right, so I'm not a huge fan of how that's coming, so we're gonna back out of that idea, and we're gonna go and get, let's say, a square. Let's get a square. Okay, so we'll go to elements. Okay. Uh, mm. This one's got rounded edges, which is great. That's kind of what I wanted anyways. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Okay, kind of liking that. So I see corner rounding is at 9, so I just want to try to match that with this box. So we'll click that. Corner rounding is also 9. Is that really accurate? Hmm. All right, so it says it's all pretty similar. So what we can do is, let's see. Let's see if we can make this gold like how we wanted. And then maybe if we drop that, so you can still see some of that card, just give it a little different look. And then let's drop this into a black text. Okay. They were cooking a little bit now, right? So gonna go like this, boom. Okay. All right. So then I think this in general, it's just like too big. So we're gonna go like that, and then now we can put that spacing back. We've we moved this crap all around, dude. All right, so there's that. Starting to cook a little bit. Boom, boom. All right, we're gonna leave that there. All right, cool. So I think we're starting to get somewhere. Um, all right, so that's kind of what. So now you have the decision because of how this is, been designed. I kind of like where we're at now. It's not great. Probably change the font at least. I'm not a huge fan. It just looks kind of boring. So maybe we'll do something like this. Maybe we'll do just something to kind of set it off. So like for the purposes of this video, I would have I would have probably done that, but like I just think that looks clean. It looks different. It still gets the message out. You don't want to do a font that's like gonna um make the stuff hard to read. But another thing I like to do too is I find a font size that works, and you just kind of roll with that, right? So we'll do like 8. Everything looks good. I think that's starting to look okay. Maybe if you really wanted to have this stuff stand out, you could take like all of your phone numbers or all these bottom parts, and you can make them like white. If you really wanted like that to stand out, which I think you do, you want your phone numbers to kind of stand out. Some people might say it's a little overbearing. Maybe you do, maybe you tone it down just a little bit and do like a gray, but now that's like gonna fade. So not a huge fan of that. So I would either do black, honestly, or white. So I want people to kind of know what's going on. I think the number is the most important thing. So you just really do what you need to do to make that pop. Now, so this is where you can get interesting. So this is now kind of like your contact side. Um, I think, let me try something. All right, that probably pops how I want. Okay. So you still have a little bit of space down here. So you might consider putting the QR code there. And then you could just kind of put a good off, like a good offer together as far as, so yeah, that's what I did. That might be where you just kind of list a few of your services or whatever. All right, I think. Let's see. Ooh, okay. All right. All right. So I'm really kind of liking that right there. And those are things that like really make your card unique because we had to upscale it. It actually left a shadow on there, and then we put another shadow in there, right? So pretty cool. And like you can still keep playing with this stuff a little bit. I think I'm fairly happy with where that's at. Like if you wanted to go that white and you wanted to have that gold there, I think we kind of come back and just make all that white. But I think doing that and then we'll come back with that white. Just kind of make it look crisp and not like everything's kind of uniform. I don't know, man. It's tough. I think that's probably the best. All right, cool. Don't touch it anymore. Here I go touching it. Don't touch it. Touch it. I do want to see what this looks like white. Not a fan. Not a fan. All right, cool. So that's kind of where we're at on that. So now we're gonna go and say, okay, what do we want the back to look like? I really think that. I'm just trying to decide. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here to the dude's I think it was on Facebook. Go to Messenger, pick it up, and I think I had him make what's called a link tree. So if you guys don't know what that is, and you're a business owner, maybe check her out. And I just saw that he gave me a list of logos that he liked, and I forgot about it. So that's probably not great. So anyway, so I'm gonna grab this. You guys can, if you guys don't know what Linktree is, you can probably just scan this, and it'll take you right to kind of what that is and give you an idea. But it's a page that just has like all the guys' links on it. And if you're gonna have a customer, that's what I would do. It just gives you the most like autonomy, right? But honestly, in another lesson, I'd like to kind of show you guys like what I really would do. I would build a link tree into your actual website. I actually have a template that we can use for that. And the reason why I say that that's important, right, is you want to own all your own traffic, dude. And when you use these Linktree services. What they want you to do essentially is use their service, right? So if you wanted to do that, all you would have to do is come over here, type in QR code, and you can put the URL of the page that you keep your own link tree on, and then it would automatically make you your own QR code. But right now, I'm just looking for a nice little frame to kind of throw this into that maybe says like scan me or something like that. Some people don't like that. So it's just a kind of a personal preference, but I think just to add a little bit more color to this, that's where I'm looking at doing something, it's all kind of how you like doing shit. So uh, hmm, I think it'd be too much. Yeah, just do something real simple. Boom. Keeping it simple, stupid. Oh shoot. So once you kind of really get everything locked in, it's probably important to just kind of, oh shit, don't lock the whole card. It's probably important to just lock, because it just gets so annoying, dude. All right. So I'll probably do something like that. I actually think that starts to kind of like just a little bit tacky. So you can keep playing with it or you can just make your own. The biggest thing, man, is just figure something that works for you. I would think it's okay just to leave this by itself. Kind of go from there. Another thing you can do is do like you can run up here to elements, right? Do like a square again, right? Go up here to elements, square. Instead of graphics, just use shapes, man. Just drop a shape in there real quick. Boom. Okay. Drop that in the back. See what we can do there as far as just kind of evening this out. So we're going to and then if we want to change the color, you just got to play with it until you like are happy, I guess. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. I think it's probably gonna look the best like this. Just kind of putting that border around there just to kind of tighten everything up. I don't think it really did a whole lot, but it is what it is. Now, to be honest, bro, like you could just leave this thing by itself right here. Um, but I think now you're gonna put like a list of your services, right? So I think you find another picture that we like, right? So go auto detailing, okay, and so you can look at templates here. So something might catch your eye. So I typed in like services, right? So you just want to find something that kind of works. So this time I am gonna pick that first one. Um, I think let's see if it's gonna be all right, cool. So you're like, why did you do that? Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna actually get rid of like all of this. Okay. I'm actually going to, I just want to steal like a little bit of it. Yeah, so I'm literally getting rid of everything. I just really liked kind of how that was laid out. So we're gonna just make that a little bit smaller. Okay. I think once again, we throw the logo in there. This is where you could put your name if you wanted to. Another thing too is, right, you could throw your name here and not do the QR code. That might be the play, honestly. All right, so we're gonna throw this in here. So you notice like now that the background is like straight black, we're gonna want to change that shadow structure a little bit, right? So we don't need all that. So we're gonna kind of probably tone that down. We don't want to mess with the blur, but just in general, bro, like we don't really need it. So we might just go none. Gotta do that. So you're gonna need some sort of glow. Let's see. So this is super annoying. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Bum. Do 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 do. So let's see if we can do this. Okay. So this is where that is coming to bite you in the butt. Like when we did that, like that kind of like double blur. Like it looks good up there, but you might have to. That's why it's always good to like have this or remember, right? Like before we did that double blur, we imported it in, right? So you can go over here. Oops, back, and that's probably the last thing that we downloaded, right? So it's just gonna be right here, and you're back in it again. Personally though, I think the play is probably gonna be okay. Okay, it's not letting us do that. So elements, design. I'm gonna delete all of this again. I'm gonna bring it back over here. Dude, honestly, this probably wasn't a bad card, dude. This probably wasn't a bad card. Look, it's got to scan me. Damn, dude. What an idiot, right? Let me see something real quick. Maybe I'm just dumb, dude. Probably, bro. Bro. Do we just kind of like hijack this whole thing? Let me see about these layers. Can we change that to, oh boy, we can change it to like auto detailing. Okay. So we need like a black and white picture of some auto detailing, dude. I think we might be starting to cook, dude. Slightly. All right, so you want to get out of this like template, right? You want to go to like, or you want to go out of design and just type in like, oh my gosh, bro, I cannot spell. Auto detail. All right, so now we want like a horizontal picture. Once again, I'm gonna try not to pick like that first one. We already kind of just have like a basic car silhouette. All right, we'll just do this. Keep it simple, right? All right, so that's what that looks like. So sometimes I don't really understand the benefit of them using like these frames. Um, Maybe it's like something I just don't understand, but now we're gonna like layer that, send it to the back again, and kind of see where we're at. So I don't really like that because like you can't really see what's going on. I don't think it really makes any sense because you have like this thing in the middle. So it's like, all right, what's the decision, right? So I think what we do is we try to see what this looks like without this. Okay. So there's that. If that's something that you want to show. Let's type in car washing. Car wash. I like doing like stuff like this just because like I don't know, people know immediately kind of like what you're doing. People like that aren't in this field, they're like, bro, that might be too close. All right, so now we're gonna go. See, like this shit's so weird, dude. I hate using these damn frames. I don't understand why people use them. Jeez, dude. All right, let's push this to the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and do what I was gonna do anyways, which is probably gonna be. Do we want to do that? No. So I'm gonna go back over here, edit this image real quick, and we're gonna throw probably like some black and white on it anyways. Yep. And then I'm still going to throw a little transparency on it just so it's not super dominant. And then we're gonna throw it in the bag, send it back. And I'm gonna do what I can to kind of get this dude out the way. Okay, so then once again, here's this logo. I'm gonna get this out the way, this out the way. You know, and if you have your own pictures, like a lot of this is easier, right? So I throw this out there, boom. Shoot. I'm not a huge fan of that, so we need a crop. Not sure why this is cropping like this, honestly. Whatever, dude. I don't have the capacity to mess with this right now. Oh, jeez, dude. All right, so I kind of want that to do something like this. Once again, you guys see, like, these logos sometimes can be just a pain in the ass, bro. We're just going to make that as faint as possible so that the logo can kind of pop. Okay. So you'll notice that, like, the golds and stuff are not really proper right now. So we might want to kind of mess with that a little bit. You might decide, like, bro, I don't even like that at all. But right now, we're going to put his name there. I think we're just going to put, like, services, right? And once again, I'm going to try to get that to be the right color gold, just to kind of match with that, like, theme that we had going. So to me, like, that's still not the right color. So I'm going to go right back over here, highlight it, boom. So we're doing that, boom. Once again, that's not what I want. Okay. So you can see we're just kind of like methodically like pushing through and trying to make this like ours. May not want like all this jazz down here, right? So we'll just make that, okay. So I do like that. So like, just want to get rid of that part. So I kind of like that gradient that they have going there. So once you get something that you kind of like, you can lock it once again. We're going to come up here and just put like a brief list of services. Like this is a business card. So you don't, truthfully, you don't want to jam it up with a lot of stuff, right? So you can just, you know, just put a couple, you know, interior, you know, whatever you want to do. There's that option, right? Or to be honest, bro, like So like this is it's like kind of at this point where I'm just gonna go to to the client and be like, bro, like, am I even on the right track at all? Right? Is this what you want? Like, do you want to throw your services on there? Do you want to just like way more simple? Like, what are you thinking? And they hit me up. We do what we need to do. So it's that simple, guys. Did not know that I did that. It's kind of annoying, but we'll figure it out. The good thing about Canva, honestly, though, is like there's like all types of like other save states. So like if you mess it up, bro, like you can always get it back. You just don't want to always have to do that. So we'll just throw that there. I think that's like kind of popping a little bit. Oh, like I said, man, this is not my best work at all. I really thought we were gonna come in here and just like kind of crush it, but didn't happen. Now, one thing I do want to do though is like I don't want to have like 80 different fonts. So what the hell, man? All right, so this is once again, this is a benefit of going and using those damn um those layers, right? So like all this is like in one group. So I'm just gonna go over here and be like, I want this font. So everything's kind of the same. Once again, I would probably go through making everything kind of like look the same, and then I would just list the different services. Like it's that easy, right? So like inside, right? And then I'd probably go down here, outside, or I guess exterior, right? Right. And then I would just name like, okay. And then I would just kind of use this to be like, so it's being annoying because of this group stuff. All right. So then I would just be like, service one. All right. So you do. Like you're just gonna list them all out, keeping everything looking in some sort of order. Right. Just like real, just give them your top three like services. You don't want to put any prices on here or whatever. Just be like, that's another thing too, is like with this, if I do write anything on it, it's gonna be like scan this to book, and then you'll have like your booking website or whatever. Um, that's kind of the power of using that or whatever. So anyways, guys, I think that's it. I'm gonna try to get a couple of like actual things done for the business tonight. That's kind of what I was supposed to do. So I'll follow up on this, let you guys know kind of what the guy says. Might just go back and make this look simple. Might just do like a one side business card in this backside blank. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to put shit all over your cars, you know. So that's where we're at, guys. I hope that somebody was able to get something from this. It really shouldn't have taken an hour and almost 2 hours. Usually I can get out here and build one of these in like 15 minutes. Um, but the problem was the logo wasn't where I wanted it to be. So when I'm able to do that, like it's because I already have my own logos and stuff like that. I already have my own brand kit. So having those things like just saves you so much time because I'm sitting here trying to design, just multiple things from scratch, and it can gets tough, dude. That's why you pay those people what you pay them, because like you just don't have to deal with this. But if you can figure it out yourself, you're just gonna save yourself so much money, until you realize one day that's not all about saving money, right? That time is truly your biggest asset. Um, and that's one thing I have to tell myself sometime, right? Just how important that is, man. So, anyways, guys, I can mess with this all night. I'm gonna print this off. I'm gonna give it to the dude. see what he says. And I'll let you guys know. I think this would have been a sharp logo too. But once again, these logos like this are just super hard. It's the reason why I don't like silhouettes. I'd rather just have like a full graphic and be done with it, bro. But like I said, guys, that's where we're at. I think the people that are riding with us right now, super, super cool. Definitely appreciate you guys. I owe like so much content. I say it every single time I'm on here. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, bro. Like I'll get to it when I get to it. We had some good interviews at MTE. I just gotta make time to make it a priority and get that stuff out. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna download this right now. I'm going to, if you download them both at the same time, it actually is stupid. So we'll download one, and before that's even done, we'll download two. If you don't do that, it just puts them in a zip drive, and then it like messes up their name if you name them, and it's just super annoying. All right, guys. Love you guys.